What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about defense. So earlier this year I made a video for people who can't, aka have problems blocking. Now today I'm making a video for people who block too much. So one of the biggest complaints that people have about Dragon Ball in the first place is that pressure lasts forever and all I do is sit here and get blocked and press all day and I can't do anything. So this video is for you, person who blocks too much. Alright, let's just jump right into it. So first thing you have to understand is that, and you see I have the frame advantage data here, all that information here, that pretty much every move in this game is disadvantage on block. And let me just set him to block all. There we go. So pretty much every move in the game is unsafe. Not all of them, but the vast majority of moves, and especially if you're talking about chainable normals, like for the most part, normals in a chain will be disadvantage. Usually plus unblock stuff would be things that have gaps, like for example Team Gohan, yeah, this is plus 12, but it's a key blast, it's slow, etc. Right? So with that in mind, let me make sure, okay, with that in mind, one thing to pay attention to, if you think you're blocking too much, you need to pay attention to the opponent's assist. Why? If the logic is that basically all normals and chains are minus, whether or not they're safe, meaning that you could counter, so let's take this example. Okay. So in this example, I can't actually punish him, right? But maybe another one, I could. Oops. Right? So knowing that, your opponent, if they have good offense, they're not going to want to just do unsafe strings over and over, or even safe strings over and over. They want a chance to actually do offense to you. So you have to pay attention to their assists, because when they don't have assists, that is your opportunity to make a choice. So let's say the opponent does something like, I don't know, let's make something up. Okay, right? So looking at this string, I'm sitting here, he used both assists, now I pay attention. And then I take my turn, right? This is one of the common guessing games in the game, but you have to be okay with occasionally making choices like this, because if not, the opponent will get their assist back. Which leads me to the next step. What if the opponent uses both their assists, like this, and sets something up? So you see that a couple times, but then next time they do a delay, right? What do you do? Now, you have to keep on following the logic. So they're not going to just let you press buttons all the time when they don't have assist. They're going to try to get their assist back in a way that's safe. So you have to kind of think about the character here. But if you're just thinking about them kind of delaying their normals so that they could try to sneak in a pressure reset, so probably a better one of Team Gohan would be like something like this instead of something like this, or so if they're doing that kind of offense and you think it's kind of ambiguous, there's a couple things you could do. One, you could aim to reflect and just push them off. You don't even have to go for the return, you know? Like some characters, this actually does this. So in this example, I get hit, right? But in the same example, you can escape by reflecting, right? The other thing is that you could do also is try to guard cancel at specific points. Now, I talked about guard cancel in a few vids, so again, you're aiming for guard canceling the startup of a move. This makes it so that you don't actually have to go for a very heavy, high return, high risk guess, because of course this is a risk. Pressing a button is a risk, right? Reflecting is a risk too. They could do nothing, right? So using guard cancel gives you an option from block stun that you can do. And like I said before, it's very, very very worth doing. Now, next, you have to actually look at their team and what characters they have. So, if you think you're blocking too much, right? You think you're blocking too much against somebody, you have to look at what do they have and what does that mean. So, of course, I have Team Gohan GT, SSJ Goku. The offense is pretty strong in this team. Blocking this team is a threat because both Team Gohan and GT Goku have ways to like high-low you. SSJ has like left-right, as we all know, blah blah blah. Right? But let's make a team. Let's see. Let's use an example team. How about this Bardock? I have seen this used before. Okay, this. Okay, so what about a team like this though? So one thing about this game is that it's not easy to build strong mix-ups. They keep nerfing mix-ups overall, right, in the game. So there's not many combinations of things that you could do that give you like super strong true mix-ups. It's why people pick the things that they pick. It's why people play Kid Buu. It's why people play GT. It's why people play Broly and Command Grade characters, etc. Right? So a team like this, on paper, it looks pretty strong, right? Like the neutral is really good. I have 2 beams. The monster beam hits jump height, right? This team gets you blocking though. Let's be honest. How's this team actually going to hit you, right? If you feel like you're playing against a team like that, it's okay. Like, just start being comfortable. Don't think I'm blocking too much, I'm being oppressed. If you're getting attacked by a team like this, especially like at times where, like, let's say SSJ is out and your back's to the wall, right? Don't think I'm being oppressed. Wow, I'm blocking too much. Instead, you should be thinking, this team doesn't have that good mix-up. I can just sit here, right? Like, it's okay. Like, it's not doing anything. The main thing they're doing is they're getting meter, and they don't even gain that much meter for offense. Look at this. Look at all these buttons I press. I pressed, like, I don't know, like 15, 20 buttons. I only gained half a bar. It's not that big of a deal. You can sit there, you can see what they're doing and kind of parse out how the opponent likes to do their offense, and then you could go back to what I said before. Try to guard cancel, try to reflect, or pick your spot and mash. Alternatively, too, the last thing you can do, if you really think you're blocking too much, and you're playing against a team like this, especially, it's a little bit harder when teams have like strong mix-ups, right? High-low mix-ups. The next thing you should try then is waiting for a specific point. Aim for a specific point to either specifically challenge or try to escape. So, with this logic, right? If this, let's say this is hard. This is pretty hard, right? Because he could delay here, or he could reset and get his assist back, right? If they get their assist back, it's a problem. You're going to be blocking more, right? More chances for them to hit you. However, though, depending on the situation, though, sometimes... So this is a special move. They can't push their turn on this special move without an assist, right? So assuming they have no assist, right? If they vanish, Vanish isn't in jail anymore. Vanish is in jail off a lot of things, actually. So if they do this, you can push them off you. They have to, essentially, they put themselves in a guessing situation. So here, you can either sit and see what they like to do and plan for the next time they do that, or you could pick something to escape, like backstep, like pressing a button, like jumping, etc. Pressing a button, dashing after them, because say like this, dashing would beat that, right? Right, so you have this, you could do this, you can retreat, you can just jump out of there. There's a bunch of things you can do. Some of these are like higher risk, higher return. So for example, dashing after them is definitely higher risk. Just pressing a button is not that high risk. And then you have stuff like back dashing and jumping, which are like lower risk. It's up to you to pick. But in the end, all characters have ways to end their pressure kind of safely. That is like safe on block, but they can't really follow up without assist, so you could wait for those points to try to escape. Which kind of brings me to my last point, so let's go back and talk about, let's build a team like, let's leave Bardock here, let's build a team like this. Yeah, this is probably fine, yeah, this is fine. Okay. So just a second ago, we had Bardock and SSJ Goku, right? Bardock and SSJ Goku, maybe alone, maybe not the strongest offense of all time, but here we have Kid Buu, right? So this is more of a preventative measure rather than like something that is helping you while you're actively defending. So as soon as somebody picks something like Kid Buu, like Yamcha, like Gotenks, or they're playing like Adult Gohan on their team, plus like mild block stun assist, like 30 frame plus block stun assist. As soon as they pick something like that, you know they really want to get in and they really want to hit you. Once you get to this point, like this point here, I kind of did it wrong. Man, my time sucks. There you go. Once you get to this point here, once you get to that point, to this point, you are already kind of screwed, honestly. So, of course, you have your guard cancel response, right? But what you should be thinking is when they're playing like something plus Kid Buu, you should be aiming quite hard to minimize the amount you get touched randomly and bringing in either Kid Buu, either like one of the assists to make the game easier for you. So in this case, some people would snap in SSJ Goku, try and kill him so that the neutral of this team's overall weaker. Some people would choose to snap in Kid Buu, kill him so the mix-up goes way down. One or the other is fine. Depending on how you feel, it's fine. It's just something you need to be more alert for. Another example is like when I play against enemy GTs, right? When they have GT out, a big thought I have is they are really trying to hit me and really trying to Spirit Bomb me, so I need to be careful. Instead of course, there's like countermeasures to Spirit Bomb, the stuff you could do when you get knocked down by the big Genki Dama, right? But your first goal should be preventative. It should be, I want to minimize the amount of times I get put in that situation in the first place. I somewhat feel that a lot of people who feel like they're blocking too much and feel like they're getting oppressed too much it's more that they're probably getting hit by mix-ups or at least offense often. Like they're getting caught and getting hit often, so they feel like they can't block or they are blocking too much. It's usually along those lines. So the last point actually goes into Dragon Rush. So if you are a more defensive player, you're going to have to learn how to deal with Dragon Rush a little better. So this is kind of like a review, because I talked about it in the other video, people who can't block, right? So this is going to be a just quick review for y'all. Basic things you should do to deal with Dragon Rush. I'll go more in detail with how to defend against Dragon Rush later. I've kind of advanced my views about it in the past like 6 or 7 months or so. So again, your main basic ways you're going to deal with Dragon Rush is... Okay, so let's just set them up. You have three main ways to do it. You can use a button, like jab. You can use the DR input, or you could use some other input. I'm basically putting a bunch of ways into one way. So you can use some other input. You can use Vanish, which I missed, because I'm amazing. There we go. Wow. There we go. You can use Vanish. You can use get hit in the face by Bardock. You can use a level 3. You could use Spark, but I missed it. I'll try one more time. Okay, whatever. It works when you use the macro at least, but you can use Spark, you can use whatever, right? So it's up to you to pick which way you want to use. Each way has merits and demerits, right? So as a summary, right, when you use the Dragon Rush input, right, you get the whole window of Dragon Rush tech. When you use a button, you get a much smaller window. It's supposed to be 7 frames, but you get to cover other actions at the same time. And when you use anything else, you get to do that thing plus take a Dragon Rush. So in this example, like, sometimes you get Vanish. If you do it too fast, you get Vanish. They have to sit there and wait for the Vanish to actively punish you. If they do something that's not Dragon Rush, most people will Vanish your Vanish, and you don't even take that much damage. And you get put into soft knockdown, which lets you dice roll them heavily, right? That's pretty good. In the case of teching with crouching heavy, if they do this, then you're going to absolutely ruin their life because you're going to be teching with a crouching heavy, right? As opposed to using Dragon Rush where you might get hit or something, right? So it's on you, kind of practice against it, see which one you want to pick. If you're sitting there a lot, eventually they're going to try to Dragon Rush you. So try to have a plan for defending against Dragon Rush if you like blocking a lot, or if you feel like they're just rushing you down super hard. Okay. Hopefully some of these tips help. When you're blocking in this game, you should not always feel in danger, honestly. There's only a couple spots where I think you're really in danger. That's usually if they have a blocks on assist and a good high-low, right? That'd be 1. Being knocked down by GT would be 2. There's not a lot. It's a pretty condensed list of like what is actually like threatening. So if you feel bad that you're blocking too much but you're not getting hit, you should actually just be like cool and try to like take your turns. I want to follow this up with a couple more defensive techniques like the OS guard video before. There's a couple more things you could do to kind of slip out where you're defending. But for now, this is it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time.